My name is Elfresh the Lion. I'm a hip-hop artist and sometimes spoken word poet.
Here, they ain't no witnesses. We came up from the dust to manifest riches here. So excuse my smile when they try to tell me what struggle is.
I applied to become the Talking Difference Fellow because I was very intrigued by the nature of the program. When I read about it and when I heard about it, it really just grabbed my attention. It's very rare to be able to go into schools to talk about issues such as racism, multiculturalism and cultural diversity, and to be able to really engage with students on those topics. Throughout the duration of the program, I really went in depth in analysing my own experiences with racism, but also getting a better understanding and a broader understanding of kids of today. One particular experience from the program that'll stay with me was this amazing moment at Karanjang with a student named Kwat. I did a performance there and he was able to kind of get up on stage, and we shared this moment where he shared some of his music and some of his poetry with his peers. And it was great, to be able to see him get up and have the confidence to be able to share that, and then for his peers to be able to embrace those ideas, most importantly, can really encourage students to have confidence around their ideas in relation to these concepts.
I tell her that we're there, there's a pain to be in it, trying to stay sane, play in the game that they give us time. I ask what we want, but they never really listen. We will never feel changed, so we change the system. And
taking a look at the Talking Difference website, I came across this footage of a student talking about her experiences where people continually ask her where she's come from, and that's a shared one for me. I personally continue to experience that question despite having been born and raised in Australia. That I, as an artist, can play a role in being able to address issues that are sometimes uncomfortable to speak about. What then came out of that was the development of a new song which I wrote titled Get Mine, and that really looks at this concept of belonging, this concept of race in regards to belonging, and who gets to determine what it means to be Australian. The legacy of Talking Difference for me, is one of constant reflection. Understanding that while I have experienced racism, and while I have an understanding of multiculturalism and cultural diversity as it plays out in the current context, and also understanding it from a historical point of view, knowing that things change, experiences change. Young people will continue to go through and experience things that are different to my own experiences. There might also be similar things, but there's also different things. So for me, it's coming to an understanding that, while I have my own opinions, that people in the community, particularly young people, also have just as valid points of view and just as valid ideas around these concepts.
What's yours is mine, but yeah, I gotta get mine.
I like to be a person that brings questions and that can leave people with, I suppose, more questions than what they came with. And I think that can be a point of difference for this program because it's hard to come up with solutions and answers to an issue that can be quite complex, one that is as complex as racism. And I'd like to take an opportunity to really thank the Immigration Museum and the team behind Talking Difference for creating, firstly, something as powerful as this, because it's definitely needed in the national conversation. The voice of young people cannot be overlooked. Because they are the ones experiencing it, and the work that goes in behind it to make it happen is very, very valuable, and one that should be credited, at every turn.